actually.
Oh,
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Nic Cagisode episode 2, the episode no one's wanted, and judging by last Nic Cagisode, no one will listen to. So,
did we not do well in the last Nic Cage episode?
not really.
I'll just, I'll
Dying in
just
the,
keep.
what was it, like Dying in the Light and that Outcast movie? Not very popular
Yeah,
films.
yeah. Okay, so nobody's seen those movies. You know what else nobody's seen is the movies that we're talking about today.
Absolutely not. I barely remember them, honestly.
Yeah, I watched
I
them
did
so
take
fucking
notes,
long.
but
Uh,
I did go to a full film fest in between, so.
Yeah, so God bless, and I bet that hurts. I bet that hurts a lot.
Yeah, that's why I had to take today off or my body would collapse. Last night, though, I saw my friend Dahmer. Pretty funny.
Jeffy.
I like that they're doing this weird thing now where it's concerning, but they're doing this weird thing where they're taking horrific events and making them pure comedies. Alice Stronger and my friend Dahmer.
Yeah, hell yeah. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that.
It's alarming, but it's a lot of fun.
It's alarming. You know, why don't we address that real quick? You've been at Calgary International Film Festival. I went to the opening with you, but I haven't seen anything else since then. What's been your experience so far? I know that the number one thing that people are talking about this film festival is Mark Felt and what happened there. What exactly did fucking happen there?
Well, I guess they didn't get the film rights to it because they had because I don't know if you know how movie theaters work nowadays. They just download the movies. You play them over a digital projector. That's every theater, all cineplexes, everybody just downloads them.
If that's the case, I'm surprised that more movies don't leak that way.
Well, this is why they don't, because they have copyright protections on them until they are released. And that's why they couldn't play it, because it's not wide release yet, and they were supposed to get the security measures,
early access, yeah,
for the festival, and they didn't do that. So there's another screening on Sunday that I might go to, but I'm not counting on being able to make it. But
they are doing Mark Felt again, like they did. They're getting the rights and playing. I
think it's playing tonight and on Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, at least they got it figured out. But other than that, like, what have you seen that you think is like standout shit? Because I know this is typically where you see like a lot of the stuff that ends up being nominated for Academy Awards.
So the big one is probably Stronger and Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley is the movie about the lady that wrote Frankenstein, and there's a lot of banging in it. It's a stuffy costume drama, but no finger. I'm really disappointed. I haven't seen a single finger this entire film festival, which is very odd. Otherwise, I've seen some foreign films that are probably going to get some recognition. The Other Side of Hope from, I believe it's Finland. Fucking awesome movie. Really, really ridiculous. Really like pure satire. And then another one that's going to get some obvious buzz is The Florida Project by Sean Baker, who made that last movie.
That's Dafoe, right?
With the iPhone. Yeah, that's Dafoe.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe was in that.
Fantastic film. That's going to get a lot of buzz. That's going to get the Moonlight buzz that happened last year.
Well, here's the thing. Like, can we get Dafoe up there for an Oscar?
I think it's his time. It's the most grounded performance you've ever seen from him. He's not fucking a screaming wild man. He's like a legit, just like person.
This is like
you don't see that very often.
This is like 3 years ago when we're like, J.K. Simmons should win an Oscar, and then everyone's like, that's obviously nonsense. And then they saw the movie and they're like, maybe.
But coming up this week, I've got a couple that I'm excited for. The Borg McEnroe Shia LaBeouf film, and our boy Harry Dean Stanton's Lucky.
Yeah. Harry Dean Stanton in that bitch. There's somebody else super famous in it. Oh, isn't that John Carroll Lynch's movie? Didn't he direct it?
Yeah, he directed it. Yeah. And
then David Lynch is in it.
Yeah, apparently David Lynch is in it. So
that's so fucking wild to me.
So there's a couple more. I'll keep you updated. I've saw a few that were just like a lot of fun, like my friend Dahmer in this movie Public Schooled with Judy Greer. It's very Canadian and very funny.
Did she bust out her titties?
She done bust out her titties, so it's it's the most wholesome movie I've ever seen. And then probably my favorite movie of the festival is this movie called Tragedy Girls, and it's a weird horror movie. It's kind of like, you know how like all these movies have been cashing in on like the 80s nostalgia.
Yeah,
this cashes in on 90s nostalgia, so it's like fucking Scream as fuck, dude. It's like Scream, but like it's about these two girls that want to become serial killers. So they abduct a serial killer and then just start
I
killing people like Craig Robinson from The Office.
I've heard this, and then they leave like notes behind and shit.
No notes.
Well, what am I thinking of? I thought this was Tragedy Girls, where they like don't they make like a Facebook or a Twitter or something like that?
Yeah, they have a Twitter.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. But that's a lot of fun, and maybe Spookytober's coming up. Maybe we'll end up talking about that one. Who knows? Spookytober this year is gonna be tough, dude, because there's just so much shit that we have to get through.
Ideally, we need to do at least like 5 pods. I don't know if that's in the cards, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because like the thing is we've never had this many spooky movies to watch. Like last year, we were fucking drowning. Like we were doing stupid shit. Like what was that one with the vampire? With the what was that movie? And it had, I think Matthew Lillard was in it. Bloodsucking Bastards. What the fuck? Bloodsucking Bastards. Like we saw that shit, and like we were just like we had nothing. This year, there's so many fucking there's a lot of like entries.
Movies. Last year it was like all horror comedies because that's literally all that came out. So
yeah, and then this year we have a lot of entries to like classic horror franchises. We got Leatherface, which is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Chucky.
Chucky, I'm excited for that.
Oh, dude, Chucky's gonna be fucking good. There's no movie that scares my girlfriend more than the original Child's Play, so I'm gearing her up for that. She's gonna watch Chucky with me.
Terrible film.
Which one, The Cult of Chucky or Child's Play?
All of them. But, I mean,
dude, I like the first Child's Play. I think the first Child's Play is a lot of fun. They get silly after I think like the third or fourth one, but I think for what they are, they're a lot of fun. Yeah,
like then they're just like comedy, like The Bride of Chucky and The Seed of Chucky or whatever.
Yeah, it's just wild garbage.
Curse of Chucky, which is it's what The Cult of Chucky is a sequel to. So
yeah, Curse of Chucky's fucking bad. So don't worry about that.
I'm gonna watch it anyway, so don't worry about that.
Nah, I think you could just move right on to number 7. I haven't seen number 7, but I bet you could just move right on. But like, what else? There's also an A24 horror movie that fucking nobody told me about called It Comes at Night with Joel Edgerton.
Yeah, a little slow. I've heard.
A little slow. Well, I don't give a shit. I fucking just love Joel Edgerton. Why is he so good? Mm-hmm. Then there's a couple of fucking Stephen King movies. There's a new Conjuring movie. Just there's so much shit, and we'll be talking about it. I forgot
about that Annabelle thing.
Yeah.
There's also the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man.
Pee Pee Poo Poo Man.
There's also this. There's the one about the girls who get stuck in the shark tank. Oh, I'm not familiar with that one. What's that one? 47 meters down or something?
Yeah, that's what it's called. That's exactly what it is. You are clearly familiar with that.
Well, you know why I know that? Because I was watching Schmodown's movie trivia earlier today, and that was the question that the guy lost on for under new releases.
Dumb motherfucker.
But I have this other one on deck. It's a Belgian movie about teen girl cannibals that I'm gonna make you watch at some point. So
oh shit, dude! Like that's shit that I haven't even accounted for. Like we're gonna have to do so many pods. But Spookytober is gonna be a lot of fun. Let's not talk about it quite yet. We will be doing a prelude to Spookytober with a Stephen King of the movie of the week. We're gonna be talking about Tommyknockers today. But as mentioned earlier, this is Nic Cage. Nic Cage, baby. We're talking about Arsenal.
The second official Nic Cagisode, where it's only Nic Cage.
Yeah. Arsenal.
We've talked about Nic Cage many times in the past. This is official.
It's official. And then we're talking about Vengeance, a love story. And we're going to be doing
Don't call it that.
Well, I mean, we'll get to that. And when we're going to be talking about, we're doing our Nicolas Cage 10 film draft, baby.
Wow. I'm so excited for this.
10 films. But why don't we start off with Arsenal?
Arsenal, also known as Southern Fury. Better title. Probably call it that. Yeah.
Is that what is it called? Where is it called that? Like in Korea or something?
I think its original title was Southern Fury.
Yeah, that's a way fucking better title. We're gonna be talking about this a lot today.
Arsenal.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about this a lot today, but
there's
this is a bad title. Yeah, there's no. Oh, what? You got one stun grenade? That's the Arsenal. There it is. They got a stun grenade.
I barely even remember any weapons in this movie.
So what I do, here's the thing, is that this movie is not like, comparatively, this movie's not bad.
It's not that bad. No, it's like just a shitty direct-to-video film. It's fine.
Yeah, it's exactly what you think. The fucking Entourage guy, clearly washed up, is in this bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I can't believe that entourage.
There are some very interesting things going on in this film that I think raises it above the regular just direct to videos like shit that Bruce Willis stars in all the time, like those kind of movies. There's some very interesting shit. And first of all, it's fucking Nic Cage and a fucking prosthetic foxcatcher fucking Steve Carell nose.
And a hairpiece, dude. And a
hairpiece looks like a fucking bird.
Sticky
Excuse
mustache.
me, sir. That bird?
Sticky mustache, man. Dude, he looks like shit.
Nic Cage plays a character that looks like he prefers his cocaine stepped on.
Nic Cage, this is one of the sillier performances I've ever seen him do. Because like
he's having a blast.
Yeah, every time he opens his mouth, like it feels like he's ready to cry, and I love that. That's the type of character I'm looking for. Every time he opens his mouth, he's like, "So my brother is out back, and you want to know what I did to him?" And it's like, "Holy shit, Nic Cage, you're back!"
So the first note I have written down here, I'm not really sure what it refers to, but it just says, "Wow, what a great shirt." I assume that reference is to Nic Cage because he was wearing some very interesting shirts in this film.
He's wearing like Tommy Bahamas and shit.
This is the casino of fucking shitty Nic Cage movies where he's always wearing some sort of different ridiculous outfit.
And so essentially what we have here is we got the classic Fargo plot. Sort of. Like it feels like the Fargo plot, but then they fuck it up near the end. Yeah. But like essentially this guy and a gangster are pretending that he's held hostage so that they can get money out of his brother. And so that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun to find out that like the whole cast is jizzbags, right? And like that's probably the toughest part is when you find out the whole cast is jizzbags because then you don't care anymore. But then they do the old swapperoo on you. They're like jokes, not jizzbags. And it's like, okay, well now I kind of care again, but I spent the last 20 minutes not fucking caring, so I'm out.
Well, it's interesting because there is also this weird fucking John Cusack character that like I don't know if is he a cop or something or like what the fuck is he? I don't know why he's into the movie.
What I love so much is that John Cusack, like he's supposed to be the same age as like the Entourage guy, but he's clearly a decade and a half older.
Yeah, that's so, right. They're supposed to be like high school buddies or something. It's like,
yes.
Oh, excuse me, sir. You're 60 as fuck.
Yeah, so they just put a bandana on him to make him look younger. It's like that might make him older. Might make him look older, honestly.
Like, why does it matter? It's a nothing character.
Yeah, but like
it is one of those things where clearly they got Nic Cage and John Cusack on the set for a single day, just so that they could put them in the trailer and make it seem like it's a Nic Cage movie. Because if you watch the trailer, it looks pretty good. It looks like, like a revenge plot, but it looks like a Nic Cage movie.
Yeah, it does. It does look like a fucking Nic Cage movie. The thing about this movie is that John Cusack, Nic Cage, no interactions. You know what that means, right? Conflicting schedules. They could only get Nic Cage in for one day and John Cusack in for a different day. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's just absolutely. But like the movie is about the two main characters, which are the brothers, and then like I don't know, there's like a wife and shit. And like there's two wives, and they're like in it, sorta. They're
sorta.
They're in it, but they don't do anything. And then there's a niece, and she's looking hella gross. And I think that was the intention, is to make her look gross, but it's tough to look at on screen.
Yeah.
They're supposed to make her sort of like a trashy character, I think. But then, yeah, so there's that. So essentially this movie, it plummets in its own absurdity, I think. Like it's almost so absurd that it's unwatchably absurd.
Well, because anytime it's like when you're in the scenes with our Lord and Savior Nicolas Cage and he's murdering someone to gospel music, you're like, this is something completely different than the rest of the movie.
There's also like going back to like John Cusack, like them trying to make him seem younger. There's like a scene where he's like vaping and you're like, oh, he would never do that, obviously. Stop vaping. There's also like this scene that just like, it's probably the one part of the movie that just fucking buffaloed me, dude. Because like the rest of it's like semi-coherent, but then like clearly they didn't know how to advance the plot any further. So there's just like a scene where this drug dealer is beating the shit out of the niece in a fucking hotel room, and Entourage guy just fucking busts in, just rolls up. And you're like, where the fuck did you come from? And then he's like, beat it. And he's like telling the niece to leave. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to beat the shit. He starts beating the shit out of the drug dealer. And then he's like, tell me where Nic Cage is. It's like, oh, okay. So this is why he's here, I think. But like, was he surprised when he saw the niece getting the shit kicked out of her? Or like, well, what's going on here?
But just like, there's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of unintentional like comedy just because the script is so bad in this movie. There's like this point like close to the beginning when the one brother has all that coke and it's in the fridge. And he's like, coke's in the fridge.
Yeah. That's like a bit that they're doing where like coke's in the fridge and they're like, come on, motherfucker. Because like I feel like everybody when they're like 13 has made that joke when they're like, let's go get some coke, Coca-Cola. And like they make that joke in this. And apparently now I saw this movie like 2 weeks ago and I've seen like 14 movies since then. But I'm looking at my notes and apparently there's a quick Hurricane Katrina ref in there. I don't know what that's all about, but apparently they make a quick joke about Hurricane Katrina. I mean, I'm not mad at it, but I
also have this note written down. You might be able to shed some light on it. It says bathtub pants.
You know what, Buck? It's been a week and a half, and this is quite a forgettable film.
I think someone goes into a bathtub wearing pants. Oh, that's what it is. I think.
Yeah. Because like she's having a bath, and then he, in full garb, climbs in bathtub pants. That's what that is.
That's what that is. Yeah, I should have probably write clearer notes, but it's also fun to decipher what they mean. Because normally I remember them, but I'm just having no luck today.
Now, we did mention Nicolas Cage briefly and talked about his hairpiece and his fucking prosthetic nose and his mustache.
Was there a bird in that hair? Because it looked like a fucking bird's
nest. yeah, it looks like a fucking bird's nest on it in his hairpiece. His hairpiece was so wild. That was like the first thing I noticed. I was like, what the fuck is he? Why is he wearing that?
It's really long and like it can't look like that, obviously.
But like one thing that we failed to mention is like after we've watched a lot of these shitty tier Nic Cage movies, a lot of them get past us somehow still. But we
TV.
Yeah, we watch a lot of these Nic Cage movies, and I gotta say this is probably the best he's acted in a while.
Yeah, he's pretty good at it, dude. I actually think like most of the actors are pretty good like for this kind of movie. Like I like that I think it's Jonathan Srerich or whatever.
Yeah, he's the brother.
Yeah, the brother. Yeah, I think that guy's great.
Yeah, he's awesome. I liked him a lot. Did feel like it was a character written for the other Entourage guy, but
very possible.
But no, yeah, I agree. I think he was great. He's a lot better than what's the name of the Entourage? I just know him as Entourage guy.
Adrian Grenier.
Adrian Grenier. So yeah, so that's Entourage guy.
I don't really know anything about Entourage besides Entourage the movie, so I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, and I think it's Marky Mark. I think Adrian Grenier is supposed to be Marky Mark or something like that. Have you ever seen that other Mark Wahlberg TV show where it's I don't remember what it's called, like Cooking with Wahlbergs or something like that, or Wahlburgers. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Of course, I've seen Wahlburgers. It's fucking awesome.
A lot of fun. It's like it's one of those shows. It's one of those shows where you expect Mark Wahlberg to be in every episode, but he's not. So when he walks in, the fucking studio audience claps and whoops.
The best shit is when Mark Wahlberg just shows up to tell Donnie to start cooking burgers and stuff. He's like, Donnie, what are you doing?
He's cooked the burgers. Donnie's like fucking juggling or some shit.
Donnie, cook the fucking burgers.
Now, there is also another one thing that I want to talk about. There's not very many action sequences in this movie. It's more of like a mystery movie than anything. But that final action sequence, it's pretty good.
Not bad.
Pretty good. A lot of slow-mo. But I think I don't know, it's kind of cool. I think it looks all right. Like when he's shooting him in the fucking in the shoulder and it's like exploding his shoulder. That's a lot of fun.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I actually really like the.
You know what's interesting too about like the Nic Cage scenes is they almost seemed like they were probably mostly improvised. He probably read through the script and he's like, I got it, and then just started screaming because half the time like he'd be saying stuff and he'd be like, well, that has nothing to do with what's happening right now.
Yeah, like sometimes he'd just start talking about like when he was a kid and he like threw quarters at something or other. Or fucking something like that. But like it is absolutely wild. I feel like Nicolas Cage breezed the script. He breezed it. they're like, Nick, you've memorized the script. He's like, I've dabbled in it.
I'm familiar with it. All right.
I'm aware of the works that are on it. I also think this movie has like surprisingly great sound mixing as well. Because like I said, that final action sequence, there is actually a really good amount of like sound effects to music ratio, and I was just surprised. It sort of took me back. I was like, what?
Actually, I think Stephen Miller is a pretty good direct to video director. He's done a lot of this kind of stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Silent Night with like the Santa Claus killing.
Yeah, sort of. It sounds very familiar.
And then he did this other one with Bruce Willis called Marauders and Dave Bautista, and that one was pretty fun.
How many fucking straight to DVD movies has Bruce Willis been in? Is the question though. Like,
I would say three or four a year for the last 8 years.
This is like that. We should open up a poll, like make it, like when you see a jar of jelly beans, it's like how many jelly beans are in this jar. So open up a poll. How many fucking straight to DVD movies do you think Bruce Willis has been in? Because whatever you think it is, it's more. It's definitely
it's way more. I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
What? There's got to be more.
Yeah, there's probably more, but I'd have to go deeper into the ones that I've actually seen too. So
every now and again, somebody offers him a big budget blockbuster, and he's like, "Mwah!" Like he's just so surprised.
I bet he's done at least 20.
He's so surprised by it now that he's like, you want me to do another Die Hard? Are you sure? Is that really what you want?
Oh, you want me to do the Death Wish remake?
Oh no, don't get Brucey for that for sure. There's way better cast than that. Yeah,
it's done. It's ready to be released.
Yeah, can't go back now, I guess. Then he's also gonna be in Unbreakable, so I mean, at least there's that.
Oh yeah.
We'll keep him busy. We'll keep him busy for the next couple of years. Keep him away from the straight to DVD stuff. I honestly think he's better than that.
But it does make my drunken Netflix nights a lot better, because when I see Bruce Willis on there, or like holding an assault rifle or something, I immediately click on that bitch.
Well, that's an immediate watch.
That's the reason I've seen Marauders.
And then, like, here's the big problem with Arsenal, is that it then just, like, after they have the mass murder scene and they shoot all the gangsters and fucking pump Nicolas Cage in the head with a shotgun, they all live happily ever after. Oh. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure that's how that would go down. I think they would both have pretty severe PTSD, given that they're just normal ass fucking people. Like, they're just normal civilians, and suddenly they're just trained with weapons. That's another thing. It's like strong nerd shit from Mark Wahlberg again. They're just like, they're just trained with weapons and dope with them. The brother character, maybe, because he was like sort of into gangster shit. The other dude's like, what, a fucking roofer? Yeah, a roofer that
owns a construction company.
A roofer who can perfectly handle a sawed-off shotgun? That's insane. That's clearly insane.
Not.
Yeah, and then he just moves on. And like at the end sequence, like it's about to fade to black, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, no, there's got to be another scene where they address this. You can't just have them play baseball. Oh, and it's over, and it's done.
These lads love playing baseball.
Yeah, there's a lot of baseball in this movie. You got Mr. Strong Arm and Mr. Less Strong Arm. That's the fucking stars of this movie. Yeah. I don't think I think this
Bizarro Joaquin Phoenix is what I call him.
Bizarro Joaquin Phoenix. This one is like, I don't think it's worth a watch, but if you accidentally watch it,
I think there's a very specific time that you watch it. I've described it many times on this show. It's when you come home, you had about 3 or 4 craft beers, 3 or 4 strong IPAs. You can barely keep your eyes open. You flick on Netflix, you see some sort of kid with a pistol on the cover. It looks like he might have been from Entourage, and he's holding some sort of a pistol. And you think, oh, Nic Cage is also in this. You click on that. That's when you watch this film, and you'll love it.
That is exactly correct. Shawarma in hand. Shawarma in fucking hand.
Shawarma in hand.
So yeah, I think I'd give this a 2.5 on the Chadsky scale. I don't think it's good, but it's also not the worst thing that they've ever done.
I don't really remember what I had. I had it at a 2 on the Chadsky scale, which I think is fair. More than
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely fair. I'd agree with that rating. So 2.5 and a 2 on the Chadsky scale. Don't watch it. Like, don't watch it consciously. Like, don't make the choice to watch it. But if it happens, it happens, right?
If you really want to, if you're an Uber fan like us, you're gonna dive into the Nic Cage catalog anyway. And I think this one's actually pretty watchable. So
yeah, I definitely watched this one like over like Pay the Ghost or like Outcast or Dying of the Light or
I might watch Dying of the Light over this one.
Or Joe. Dying of the Light's actually kind of fun.
Dude. What are you talking about?
Dude, Joe fucking blows, dude. I have seen Joe.
David Gordon Green, bitch. It's fucking awesome.
Of Stronger fame and Your Highness.
That's right. Pineapple Express.
So, hell yeah. Yeah, I've never seen Manglehorn. That one I have not seen. But I've heard it's pretty good. Ooh, it's on Netflix. Ooh, shit. Maybe that'll be my tonight. Just kidding. There's too many Spooky Tobers to get through. I'm not going to watch a movie that's not a horror for the next month.
That's basically where I'm at in my life right now. Now for the main event of the evening.
Oh, boy, baby.
2017 Nic Cage Fantasy Draft. We will be drafting 10 Nic Cage films to make our first starting lineup of Nic Cage films. Chadley, what kind of draft is this going to be?
This is going to be a serpentine draft. Essentially, what that means.
Snake style serpentine draft.
Yeah. So essentially, what that means is that Buck is going to go first today. He's going to get a pick, and then I'm going to get 2 picks. I get the first pick of the second pick of the first round, and the first pick of the second round. I already fucked up explaining it, so it doesn't matter. He gets 1, I get 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then we go till the end. So why don't you start us off? What would be your number 1, your first pick?
My first pick in the 2017 Nicolas Cage Fantasy Draft. I gotta go Kaufman. I'm going with Adaption.
You fucking you DOS cunt, dude. That was also my fucking number 1 pick. Adaptation's an unreal fucking movie, dude.
I knew you wanted it because it's Nic Cage's best work, but now you have a chance to steal 2 classics, so you better use your noodle with this one.
Absolutely. So for my first pick, I'm going to go with what is honestly in my mind undisputably the best Nicolas Cage movie. I don't know how many people would agree with it, but I'm taking Vampire's Kiss as number 1.
Okay.
Taking Vampire's Kiss. That one's a lot of fun. It's him and his craziest.
I didn't write that one down because I knew where that one would be going.
Yeah, it would be going to me pretty quickly. But for my number 2, I'm going to take a movie that I think's pretty underrated. You ever seen... My apologies. I didn't turn off my cell phone before we started this podcast. Have you ever seen The Weatherman?
Oh, yeah. I love The Weatherman.
Oh, The Weatherman. Yeah, it is a gore. It's a gore, dude. It's the only gore movie he's done in the past decades. It's not about swashbuckling. This one's a lot of fun. He carries a fucking crossbow to work. It's great.
I'm a big fan of Weatherman. I had that on my list. I had no idea you've seen that one. I would have picked it earlier. Well, obviously not that, but
Weatherman's fucking awesome, dude.
Well, that leaves I guess that leaves me with picking my obvious number 2, being Face Off.
Ah, son of a biscuit. That was also going to be my next pick.
That's also at the beginning.
yeah. How come you can kill kids in movies but not in TV shows?
Kill kids.
Oh man, fucking Face Off is awesome, dude. I like Face Off a lot. It's
dude,
like ridiculous. The thing is like half of the movie is Nicolas Cage being the most insane person of all time, and then the other half is John Travolta trying his hardest to be as crazy as Nicolas Cage. It's a lot of fun. So what's your number 3? What's your number 3?
I bet you'd like to know my number 3 in the Nic Cage 2017 Fantasy Draft, and that's going to be Drive Angry.
Oh, you son of a bitch! You keep taking my next picks.
I know.
I can't believe you've done this shit. I can't believe you've done this. I'm gonna lose, dude. I've already lost at this point, I think. So for my next pick, I'm going to take a movie that actually I'd like to talk about for a moment because I don't think that many people remember this movie. So my next pick is going to be The Family Man. You ever seen this movie?
Ooh, I have not. The Family Man and The Weatherman. That's Ratner, isn't it?
Yeah. So The Family Man is really bizarre because it's about Nicolas Cage and Tia Leone banging, and it's like sort of like a Christmas Carol type thing where he's an evil Scrooge man, and then he sees what his life could have been like if he married the love of his life.
Oh yeah, and then I've definitely not seen that.
But then at the end of the movie, they kill the kids, and nobody ever talks about that aspect of the movie. They're like, oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a cute movie. They kill the kids in this movie. The kids are dead at the end of this movie, and nobody ever talks about that.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, Brett Ratner, Nicolas Cage, Tia Leone, who I fucking love. For my next pick, see, my problem is that you've gone too wild with your list, and I haven't gone wild enough, I don't think. So for my next pick, I'm taking Michael Bay's The Rock, baby.
Oh, okay, that's a fine pick.
That might be the most wild Nick Cage movie there is, because Sean Connery's also in it, being as wild as Nick Cage.
Sure,
a lot of fun. What hit me with your next one?
So my 4 is going to be the movie that I have seen on cable more than any other movie. That's going to be Con Air, baby.
Con Air, dude. That one's a lot of fun. That's a really gooder.
One of my favorites, because Nick Cage also has a weird hairpiece in that one, and that's kind of what I'm digging on, is those weird ass fucking hairpieces.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Hey, Nick Cage, wear more hairpieces for sure.
Yeah, we love the hairpieces.
You better take Knowing before I do.
I think we got to get some Coen brothers on here, and we're gonna go with Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona. I've never seen this movie, actually. I think last time we talked about this movie, I was like, I've never seen this, and you're like, you got to fucking watch it tonight, and I'm like, yep, it's on the list.
it's a lot of fun. It's the Coen brothers weirdy era, like around Lebowski time, when just like there's big
or
weird
brother
sets that they have no idea what's going on,
and oh brother, where art thou?
Yeah,
that one's a fun weirdie. That's a fun weirdie.
That's weird era. Yeah. That's
right. Man, now we're gonna start bleeding into some of the garbagey, because like that's it, right? Like those are the good ones, right? Now we're gonna start bleeding into garbage territory, which is a lot of fun. So for my number 5, I'll take a National Treasure, baby. That's a Disney classic.
National Treasure, fire enough.
What's the name of Justin Bertha is also in that bitch?
Bertha, yeah, our good friend.
He's not bad. Then I'm gonna take the one where he plays Batman. You ever seen this movie where he plays Batman? It's called Kick-Ass. He plays Batman in it.
Oh yeah, I have seen that one.
Yeah, let's take Kick-Ass real quick, because Kick-Ass is actually pretty fun. That one's a lot of fun. So that's Matthew Vaughn? Matthew Vaughn who makes that bitch?
Yeah, that would be Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah, apparently Kingsman 2 is no good, but we'll talk about that eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
My number 6 in the 2017 Nick Cage fantasy draft. I'd feel bad if I didn't have my boy David Lynch on here, so let's get some Wild at Heart, baby.
Wow, I have never even heard of this movie. Nicolas Cage was in a Lynch film?
Right, with Laura Dern, of course.
Ooh, that's the most insane cast and director combo ever.
If you've never seen that movie, basically Nick Cage plays what I would call an Elvis caricature.
Holy fuck! I've never heard of a better casting in my life.
And he runs around fucking Laura Dern, and there's like I watched it recently. He does like a full like 5-minute song and dance number in it, because it's a Lynch movie, so just random shit's happening constantly. Pretty fun.
What the fuck? That sounds like it's a lot of fun. Is it my turn? No, it's your turn again.
My number 7 in the fantasy draft, I'm gonna go with Lord of War.
Oh, you know what? I've actually never seen this movie. I've heard it's dope though.
It's pretty good. It's a less good War Dogs.
But it's okay. But here's the thing: is that less good War Dog? Sure, it's not as well written. But like, you take Miles Teller out and you put in Nick Cage, that's a win in my books.
Well, here's the thing: Ken, you're gonna be off as soon as I tell you this. His brother is played by our friend Jared Leto.
Oh shit! I'm out. I'm fucking out, dude. So for my next pick, we're going to talk about a movie we actually ended up talking about last year. This one's just sort of in there to be in there now, and that's the rest of my list, honestly. I'm going to take... Oh, barely. I actually have seen...
got like a bunch that are fucking fantastic, so...
I was actually surprised at how few of these movies I'd actually seen. Like, I'd only seen 30, but there's like 300. Dude's worked. But for my number 7, I'm going to talk about Snowden.
Okay.
Remember the fucking Edward Snowden movie? That actually wasn't that bad. Yeah.
That's a good film. I mean, Nick Cage is barely in it, but he's good when he is in it.
Yeah, he's there. He shows up. He rolls around sometimes. One day. Obviously there for one day.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got Oh, it's my turn again. It's my turn again.
That's right. Yep, it is.
Oh, okay, so here's the thing: is that I debated. The reason I put this next one so far down on my list. This is a fucking great movie, but I debated on whether or not it counts or not. But I'm gonna take it anyways because I'm a sneaky son of a bitch. I'm gonna take Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah, it counts.
Yeah, it fucking counts. First film he was ever in. He had maybe one line, but great fucking film. Dude, I fucking love Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Oh, a lot of titties in that movie, which is fun.
A lot of titties.
A lot of titties.
For my number 8 in the Nic Cage fantasy draft, I'm going to take a movie I'm sure you've never seen called 8mm.
8mm. I know of it. I'm aware of it.
So this is a great movie where Nicolas Cage plays a fucking private detective, and he's trying to find the origin of a snuff film that an old woman found in her house from her deceased husband. And
that's a good concept.
He gets trapped. Like, I honestly would have picked this way earlier if you had seen this, because it would have been off the table, but I knew it was safe for a while. And it's so fucking good, dude. I love it so much because it's just fucking the seedy underbelly. I think Joaquin's in it, who plays the porn shop guy.
Ooh, I love Joaquin as the porn shop guy.
Yeah, it is Joaquin. He plays the porn shop guy. Gandolfini's in it, plays like the fucking porn.
Gandolfini's in there?
It's so fucking good, dude.
I feel bad because that's a lot of really good actors around Nicolas Cage. Must make him look pretty feeble.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
All right, what's your number 9?
I guess I'll go with Wicker Man.
Ah, you son of a bitch. That was going to be my next pick, dude.
Yeah, no shit. I know. I understand how your brain works.
The bees scene is one of the best film scenes in fucking cinema history, dude. It's right up there with the Highmark scene. Like it's fucking awesome. Oh, hi, Mark. Okay. So I'm just taking a look at what I got left here. I could take Knowing, but I'm also not like a complete retard, so I'm not going to do that, obviously. You know what?
Dangerous.
I would never take that. You know what? I'm gonna go a little bit wild here, and I'm gonna take The Croods. You ever seen The Croods?
Okay, sure.
Hey, it's not bad. It's not bad. Not good, but not bad.
Okay,
certainly a 9th pick.
But all right.
So for my last pick, you know what? I think I would just be pissed. Have you ever want to see fucking Nicolas Cage pretend that he's Evel Knievel, but actually he is not? I think I'm gonna take Ghost Rider, baby.
Insane. That's an insane pick.
That's
an insane pick when my number 10 pick is still on the table. That's David Gordon Green's Joe.
Oh, that's a terrible film, though. That's a fucking terrible film.
No, Ghost Rider. It's a 4-star film. Did you even watch, Joe? It's fucking awesome, dude.
No, it's not that good, dude. It's not that fucking good. It's just fucking Nicolas. It's Nicolas Cage yelling in the woods with a beard.
Yeah, and fucking shotgun. It's a great movie, dude.
I that one and Rage sort of blend together for me. I don't remember which one is which. But they're both bad. 100%. They are both fucking terrible.
It's better than Ghost Rider. That's for sure.
Maybe though, because Ghost Rider is fucking horrible. So maybe I'll give you that.
Well, I think I obviously won this one, but
yeah. I'm just taking a look at this list. That's not even fair. It's not even fair. You destroyed me on that one. I'll admit.
It's like for sure watch a single fucking Nic Cage movie. That's like one of the good ones because from my standpoint, you haven't seen Raising Arizona, Wild at Heart, Lord of War, 8mm. Joe.
I have fucking seen Joe.
Well, you keep saying that it's not good though, so obviously you haven't seen it. So that's like it's like 6 movies you haven't seen off my list.
Tommyknockers, baby. Tommyknockers. Let's talk about Stephen King. This is our Stephen King film of the week. I can't fucking believe you picked this.
Why?
What we have here is a 3-hour episode of Goosebumps with titties in it.
Yeah, dude.
That's what Tommyknockers is. I
think there's never been a better representation of Stephen King's work than the Tommyknockers.
That's pretty close. I'm sure it's pretty close. Stephen King loves this one. No, actually, Stephen King doesn't. I was reading an interview and he's like, yeah, that one's pretty fucking bad.
Well, do you know why it's the best representation of Stephen King's novels?
Why would
because there is a writer in it. There's an alcoholic in it. There is a lot of sex and titties in it. And it's way too fucking long.
You know what? That's accurate. I absolutely agree with that. So this is a 3-hour movie. It's long, dude, and it's shot like. Here's the problem. Here's the first problem you notice. You start watching it, and you're like, "Oh, I think Tommy Wiseau made this movie because that's how it's shot. It's shot like a fucking Tommy Wiseau movie."
Shot by John Power.
What I do like about this movie, though, is that it is in the all the Stephen King's works are linked, but they don't really talk about it that often. But this one actually does have ties to Stephen King's It, which is kind of cool because they go back and forth between the two towns, this town and Derry, and talk about how like shit was weird there, but now shit is weird here. What's the name of this town again? I don't fucking Haven. Haven, is that what it was? I think it's Haven. Yeah. Haven. Which there was another one. I think it's the Colorado Kid. Stephen King's The Colorado Kid also takes place in Haven, Maine. So what this movie is about?
Colorado Kid. I've never read that one.
Colorado Kid. I believe it's a novella. It's a novella. You know what I'm talking about?
That doesn't really enlighten me very much, but okay.
Oh, it's one of Stephen King's works that's 130 pages is essentially what that bitch is.
No, I'm asking you what it's about, though, for sure.
No idea. No fucking idea. So this movie immediately just like barrages you with like 1,000 characters and like a shitload of information about the town that, just so you know, don't retain it. It's not going to be important later.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, like the first 30 minutes is just like this barrage of information that doesn't fucking matter. Just forget all of it. It's like the first 20 minutes of Salem's Lot. It's just a shitload of information. Forget it. Don't even worry about, oh, Fred Willard's fucking the guy's wife. Forget it. It doesn't matter. There's vampires. There's a bigger issue here.
Forget it. Don't worry about it.
So essentially what this fucking movie is about is that scary glow stick monsters take over. These scary glow stick aliens take over the town of Haven, and the concept is neat, where they start brainwashing everybody and turning the entire town into a brainwashed cult. That's kind of neat. I like it. In concept, it's good.
Essentially, this is a worse version of a book he wrote later called Needful Things, which was a film that has Mark Van Sydow. Is that his name? The guy from The Exorcist.
Oh yeah. I like that guy. I like that guy a lot.
And he basically plays the devil, and he's a shop owner, and he sells people things for their souls. That's a good fucking, but it's basically the same thing. Like the small town gets infected by.
So the first
greed. This one,
first 45 minutes. Yeah.
Horny alien diseases.
Yeah, everybody, all these. Hey, remember the part when he fucks the alien? Happens in this fucking what's the name of that? What's the name of the main guy from this? Jimmy Smits of Star Wars fame. So Jimmy Smits rolls up, fucking Organa is shit. But the first 45 minutes is like weird because like it's half about this dude. It's half about this dude who's trying to get over alcoholism. But then the other half of the first bit is like this kid trying to be a magician.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Kid's trying to be a magician, and his grandpa buys him a magic kit, and then they like hang out, and he's like all excited, and then his magic trick goes wrong, so he's like, Grandpa, I wish that you never bought me that stupid magic kit. And immediately I'm like, oh, fuck you then. Fuck you then. If this character dies, I don't fucking care. Fuck you, kid. You're a piece of shit. A lot of what I want to know is like, what does Stephen King have against the state of Maine? Why is so?
He's from Bangor, Maine. That's where he lives.
Oh, that makes it even more Stephen King than it already was. But like, leave the state alone. Leave the state. Go back to write more books that take place in Colorado. You fuck.
He loves making places. He loves making books talk about Portland, Maine, because you think he's talking about Portland, Oregon, but no, he's talking about Portland.
He's a sly cunt like that. Now the actual idea of brainwashing aliens, like a giant brainwashing alien rock, that's not bad. But here's what is bad.
1950s sci-fi, but yeah.
Here's what's not bad. Don't make it neon green. Don't make it like fucking bright neon green. It's the most putrid thing I've ever had to look at.
I think it's 90s sci-fi charming.
Oh, but like here's the thing is that like I've seen better shit in the 90s for sure. I've probably seen better shit in the 80s, but
a 3-hour TV movie, Chadley.
I know, but there's
an actual film.
There's like the one scene where like the guy gets electrocuted by the TV, and it's obviously just like a fucking crayon drawing that's flashing on and off to make it look like he's getting.
Can you imagine if Cronenberg directed this?
Oh, this would have been way more wild, dude. There would have been skin. I actually finally saw Scanners for the first time this week, and it's the most Cronenberg thing ever. There's just like there's a scene in Scanners where these two dudes just look at each other until their heads explode. It's like that's pretty fucking. That's the most Cronenberg shit I've ever seen. Well,
if you want to see the most Cronenberg shit ever, you got to queue up The Brood. I'm sorry, you need to see The Brood. I
gotta see The Brood. I've still never seen Naked Lunch either, which everyone says is like a masterpiece.
No one said that's a masterpiece. That's the worst one.
Yeah, I saw a still from Naked Lunch, and I'm like, ooh, that looks pretty Cronenberg-y though.
Yeah, it's pretty Bergy.
It's pretty Bergy.
As long as you don't watch Spider with Ray Fiennes.
Now, here's the problem with Tommyknockers is that halfway through the movie, maybe like an hour into the movie, some of the characters get like mind-reading powers. Play on that some more, for sure. They barely touch on it. There's like a scene where a girl's like, man, it's so weird. I can read people's minds now. And he's like, crazy. And it's never mentioned again.
What?
It's never. End.
When they're trying to convert Jimmy Smits, they mention it a lot. Because
that's true.
His mind can't be read.
Yeah, because he has a fucking plate in his skull or something like that.
I'm sure they explained it. I wasn't watching very closely.
And then there's there's just several scenes of people just like forcefully pulling out their teeth, and I'm like, ew, don't. Don't fucking put that in a movie. That's ew, gross.
Make it entertaining somehow.
Yeah. Another thing too, and like this is a small pick, but if you're gonna make a movie like this, you gotta name the alien something else. Tommyknockers. That sounds so unintimidating, dude. Tommyknockers.
Tommyknockers.
Knocking at the door.
You gotta make the nursery rhyme though. There's a really funny part in this though when they're talking about that Tommyknocker little rhyme, and I think it's the police officer or somebody. He's like, I don't have time for that nursery rhyme bullshit.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. I just like there's a lot of things that just irk me about this movie. First of all, it's too fucking long, and I feel like we can harp on that. This is probably the worst of the miniseries Stephen King adaptations.
Really? You hated Salem's Lot.
I'd say it's maybe on par with Salem's Lot. It's not good. Like this is not a very good movie. It's not well acted. It looks like shit. Like that's the problem. Is it looks like shit. It's 3 fucking hours.
Would you say it looks like a Goosebumps episode?
It does. Because like as a kid, I always watched, or not as a kid. As a kid, I loved Goosebumps. But as an adult, you go back to Goosebumps and you're like, why did they think this aesthetic
like
was?
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Is I think.
Yeah.
Closer. Also, it was a Canadian show, right? So it was way lower budget.
Yeah, but like you watch like Are You Afraid of the Dark and you wonder like how did somebody use this production value and say this is acceptable, and it's like maybe they saw
a mini series for TV and it's 3 hours long. There's no way they had more than like $1 million to make this.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I guess so. They couldn't have had money for it.
You can stretch that like a little amount of money over 3 hours. It's hard, dude.
I'm a big fan that halfway
like, all of it's on set, right? It's all like on location. All of it's in forests and on sets.
Yeah, you know what I'm a fan of? I'm a fan of the fact that halfway through the movie, they give you a quick recap. They're like, in case you forgot, here's the quick recap.
It is a two-part thing. They played it over multiple nights.
Yeah. So they throw you but like if you watch it back to back, it's just wild to see the recap immediately.
Yeah, did you also get a trailer for some sort of other Stephen King movie?
Yeah. I did get that. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about, but I was like, ooh, maybe we should watch that for Spookytober. And then I'm like,
that's the second one. They come at night or again.
Is it a sequel to Tommyknockers? Oh yeah, no, you're right, because it's not actually based on a Stephen King book. It's based on a Stephen King adaptation, which don't do that.
Well, I know there's 3 of them called They Come at Night or whatever. But I like that there was that little trailer in there. It felt like Grindhouse shit.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about even my favorite character yet, though. The father that is the mailman and keeps banging fucking Tracy Lords.
Oh yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome, dude. I was not too mad at that. Especially like the scenes where they're banging at the post office.
Oh, he's my favorite character, dude. He's my favorite character maybe in any movie, and that's why I'm giving this movie such a high score on the Chatsky scale.
He's married to the scary lady who oh dude, when she talks to the TV, that's one of the most wild scenes in any Stephen King adaptation.
I'm telling you, there's some pretty good stuff in this too.
There's like the game show and they're like
it's technically bad, but I think it's like mostly fun and the first half I think is really fun. It does fall apart towards the end, like most of this stuff, but like
I think comparatively to Salem's Lot, which we watched a couple weeks ago, comparatively to Salem's Lot, it's technically worse, but it's technically worse. It looks like shit. I fucking hate the acting. Like it's later. Yeah, technically it's worse, but it's more interesting. It's more interesting than Salem's Lot for sure. This one's also despite the fact that this one has an R rating, it almost feels like they could have taken the R rating out and made this a bit more family friendly. Maybe not like
G. We need Tracy Lord's titties in there though.
Yeah, we do need Tracy Lord's titties. That's fine. But like, if they had made this PG-13, they made this PG-13 because here's what this has that a lot of Stephen King movies don't have. This one's really easy to follow. This one's fucking really easy to follow and keep up to date with what's going on.
Aliens take over a city and they make them all want to fuck each other, and then aliens go away.
Oh yeah, and then there's bad CG alien monsters. The alien ship set though is pretty good. Like when they actually go into the alien ship, that's a lot of fun. It doesn't look too bad, but then the aliens roll up and you're like, oh, but that's fucking. It looks horrible. It's very it's like derivative of Alien and Predator, but like if those movies were bad.
I guess. But that's all Stephen King's work. It's derivative of something.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen King might not be the genius that everyone thinks he is, but it's a lot of fun. He can write quick, and I think that's what he's got going for him. It's like he pumps out 8 books a year, and if 2 of them are good, that's a pretty good track record.
He's down to like 2 a year now because he's an old man. He's so old.
Oh, he turned 70 last week. He turned fucking 70. I didn't even like. You look at him and you're like, oh, that's a young Bill Gates. No, he's fucking old, dude.
Yeah,
he's way old.
I'm gonna be sad when we lose that lad.
Stephen King looks like what would have happened if Stephen Hawking never got the weird disease.
Sort of.
So I don't think this one's very good. I'm gonna give this one a 2 on the Chatsky scale.
I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. Throwback to like a 50s sci-fi type deal, but with neon green all over the place. Yeah, that 3 on the Chatsky scale.
3 on Chatsky scale. You know what? That's more than fair. I think that's more than fair.
Exactly what I gave it.
Here's the thing. Okay, all right. I've not been looking forward to this, but let's just do this and let's just get this the fuck out of the way. Let's talk about Vengeance: A Love Story. So when we talked about Arsenal earlier, we're like, oh, that's a bad title. Sure is a bad title. Unfortunately, it's not as horrible as Vengeance: A Love Story, which is in fact the worst film title I've ever fucking heard. And here's why. Not because it has nothing to do with the movie like Arsenal, where it has nothing to do with the movie, but Vengeance: A Love Story has too much to do with fucking with the movie. It's literally just 2 words that vaguely describe the plot. It's like if we called for instance, let's take The Green Mile for instance. Let's rename that. Okay, that's called the Death Row Magic Man now. We'll call it that. We'll take A Few Good Men and we'll call it Army Trial Angry. It's the most bullshit title of all time. It's just words that vaguely describe the plot.
There was like an alternate title on this one because I feel like there must have been.
There has to be. That's the worst film title in history. It's the worst film, and we'll get into it in a minute here. But it also goes along with one of the worst courtroom dramas I've ever seen.
No, it was called Vengeance in Japan, Vendetta in Italy, but no.
You know what? To take off the love story. Take off the love story bit.
Yeah, a love story. That's like offensive to what this movie is, basically. Is how I would describe that.
Offensive to romance.
Now, you look at the poster for this movie, and probably his trailer. I didn't watch the trailer, but you look at the poster here, and Nic Cage is spread completely over top of it. His name's the only one on the poster here. Don't let that trick you.
He's not in it very much. There's times where it goes like 40 minutes without him being on screen, and sometimes like an hour without him saying anything because he doesn't talk very much.
Now, we said in the last one that Nic Cage was probably on set for about a day. This one, I would be surprised if he was there for more than 4 hours.
Yeah, this one's way less, dude. Because like he's clearly like he showed up to the courtroom scenes, and then he had to do the murder scenes, and and the bar scenes, and that's it. That's fucking it. So let's explain what this movie's about. Okay, so this movie is about Nicolas Cage meets a girl at the bar, but he's a cop. He's a cop, baby, which I love. I love Nic Cage as a cop, but
there is something I respect, or like I feel like I trust a swarmy businessman or a swarmy cop, Nic Cage, more than a wild man, because he's not a wild man in real life. So
yeah, absolutely. But like, here's the first problem of this movie arises immediately. While this beautiful young hot lady trying to fuck Nicolas Cage, he old now. Did Nicolas Cage write this movie himself?
I bet he has a producer credit on all of these movies, because how else is he making one? Yep, he does have a producer's credit on it.
Okay, so Nicolas Cage, like, she's immediately trying to fuck him, and he's like, have a good night, miss, I'm gonna go. Both these movies have 4th of July scenes, by the way, this and Arsenal.
That's right.
Then he goes to a 4th of July barbecue, and then she leaves her 4th of July barbecue and with her daughter, her young daughter, and immediately gets gang raped. Yeah. So that's sort of the meat of the movie, is that she gets gang raped, and the rest of the movie is like them trying to find the rapist and them trying to convict the rapists.
Well, this is a very relevant subject, since it's become glaringly obvious that there's a problem with the court system and how they treat rapists. See Brock Turner, for an example.
Oh yeah.
And then they take that very touchy subject, very relevant subject, and put it into this stupid fucking Nic Cage revenge movie.
Break it down to its most mundane level.
Yeah, like so the point where it's now offensive that they're trying to like shed light on this topic.
So like after that happens, you're like, okay, so the rest of the movie is them gonna be trying to find the rapists and take them down and shit, right? Like that, right? Like, because they're cops. No. They find the rapist fucking immediately, and without any information. Like they're asking the girl, they're like, so you got gang raped, can you tell us anything about the guys? And she's like, I don't know who they are. They go out with that information, just that information. I don't know who they are. Find them fucking immediately.
There's no explanation. They're just in court.
Yeah, it's really fast. And then suddenly they're in court. And then the movie just divulges into what I think might be, because there's 3 acts to this movie that are pretty obvious. The first act is like the gang raping and the getting of the criminals. The second act is like the courtroom and them trying to convict these rapists. But it looks like the rapists are like, oh, she was a whore and we paid her, we paid her money. And it's like, okay, that doesn't make it better though. Like, still.
Yeah.
And like they have an eyewitness, and they're like talking to this little girl on the stand, and they're like, Miss, did you see insertion? And it's like, what the fuck? Like, can't ask this to a little girl. Yeah, so. she did. And then they're like, can't prove anything. It's like, oh, what the fuck, dude? That's insane.
You sure? Because I think he did.
Oh man. And then there's also the worst judge in the world, who every time the rapers say something good, he's like, oh, all right.
Fair enough.
And then every time the girl says like literally anything, he's like, could you shut the fuck up for a second? And it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. He doesn't let them do anything. They're like, where were you when you were attacked? Unfair question. Move on. Well, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. In the last episode, or in the last movie we talked about, Arsenal, clearly Nic Cage was having the time of his life. In this movie, he was visibly upset that he had to be in this movie.
He had nothing. He wanted nothing to do with this trash heap, dude.
Like, pull up the poster right now for Vengeance: A Love Story, and he's frowning on it like he doesn't want to be there on the poster. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's like, remember Daniel Craig Inspector? Well, Nick Cage is going at least 20% less than that.
Yeah, and I love Spectre.
Yeah, dude, I also love Spectre, but it's clear Daniel Craig just does not want to have any part of that. That next one's gonna be insane because he's gonna go 5% in that new one.
Dude, yeah. That's why it's gonna be fantastic.
So after the courtroom stuff, and then they're gonna win, so we're just gonna drop the case or fucking whatever. Then there's 15 minutes about a cat. And I'm like, what the fuck is this about now? It's there's 15 minutes about the cat. And then there's 20 minutes of Nicolas Cage vigilante fucking murdering all the rapists.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
And that's kind of fun. And that's what the whole movie should have been. Because, when he kills them, real quick. There's no buildup or nothing. He just, there's, the one part where he just throws the dude off the fucking waterfall. The one part where he just shoots the guy in the face.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That was awesome,
actually. Yeah. You're not going to minge this up a little bit, Nicolas Cage? Minge it up a little bit. Yeah. There's also, the first time, because, the first guy they shoot in the face. Nick Cage shoots in the face at the bar. But that first killing takes place at the same time as the trial. And after he shoots him in the face, they just continue on the movie as if that hadn't happened. Nobody mentions it. Nobody mentions it at all. None of the they just go back to the rapists who are talking to lawyers, and nobody is okay, can we talk about the fact that one of you guys got shot in the fucking head by a cop this week? Insane. They just drop it. They don't even talk about it. Then when the dudes fall off the waterfall, nobody can shut the fuck up about that. And that's what the rest of the movie is about, is oh, these guys fled to Canada or whatever.
Yeah, I do recall that.
I watched this movie 2 weeks ago, and a shocking amount of info is just flowing back to my brain on this garbage heap, dude. It's
bad.
It's one of the worst fucking courtroom dramas I've ever seen in my entire life. That being said, there's enough decent stuff in there that I'm not going to land this at a half star. I'm going to give this a 1 star on the chassis scale.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 1 star on the chassis scale, but it is very, it's not memorable.
Let's I agree with that. Yeah, it's not very memorable. There's nothing really to it. Now, since our last fucking pod, 9 million trailers. 9 million trailers strong.
Oh, do we got some trailer trash or what?
Yeah, we're gonna pound through it super quick. First of all, trailer 1, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, continues to look like it's gonna be the greatest film of all time. Number 2, Murder on the Orient Express. That's gonna be fun, right? It's gonna be fun.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I think that'll be. I love Kenneth Branagh.
People not into it, but I think it's gonna be great.
Now, number 3, this is one that I really want to get into. We got the first trailer for Isle of Dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is going to be fucking amazing, obviously.
Yeah, it's going to make no money, though.
Oh, it'll make no fucking money, but you and I will be going. That's some day one shit for sure for you and I. So Isle of Dogs is the new Wes Anderson movie. It's stop motion. The only other animated movie Wes Anderson has ever attempted is Fantastic Mr. Fox, which just so happens to be one of the best animated films of all time. Sure. So he's given another round on it. Bryan Cranston's playing one of the dogs. Have you looked at the cast list for this?
Yeah, it's
fucking
crazy.
There's 90 famous people. There's 90 famous people in it. I feel like all the fucking regular players are there. We got Bill Murray. Owen Wilson's taking a seat out this time. Lee Schreiber's in there.
I bet Owen's getting producer credit though.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's up in this bitch again. Fucking Edward Norton. Fisher Stevens? Oh, Fisher Stevens, I'm in. I fucking love Fisher Stevens, dude. Academy Award winning human being, Fisher Stevens.
Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel's in there too. Yeah, it's a fucking lot of famous people. Then we got Pitch Perfect 3.
Oh, who cares?
We don't care. We didn't even watch the second one on this show. I think we breezed. Yeah, I've seen it too, and I think we breezed past it. I think all we said was Keegan-Michael Key is the only thing that talks you off the ledge in this film.
So good.
Now here's
Tomb Raider though.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about Tomb Raider. Don't do this. Academy Award winning last. This is offensive, dude. This is fucking offensive.
It's good though. It looks alright.
Oh, it's not gonna be good, dude. It's not gonna be good. You know what? I was thinking about this because we were talking about this last time. We were like, what video game do you think would make a good movie? And there's not many that I do because I think they're separate things and they should just fucking be separate things. But there is one that I'm like, oh wait, that would probably make a way better movie than a fucking video game. BioShock. That concept's too dope to be a video game, I think. I think BioShock's too dope to be a fucking video game.
It's offensive that it is just a video game. I don't want to play that shit.
Yeah, no shit, right? But then we got the trailer for Maze Runner.
Oh, yeah. Also, who cares? I finally did see the second one. It's terrible.
What the fuck, dude? Okay, so the first one's kind of neat. It's not that good, but it's kind of neat for what it is. Because it's about mazes.
That is the problem with all of these young adult things. Same with Hunger Games. The first one is about Hunger Games. And then it just turns into some sort of zombie fighting fucking movie. Why are they all about zombies?
They're all about zombies, and there's always a revolution. So the second one, we didn't ever talk about it, but it is fucking horrible. It's just a zombie. Here's the problem: is that the movie is called Maze Runner, and in the second one, you know what they take out? The fucking maze. That's the fun part.
Oh, dude, and it's so bad. And there's like all those like they're in that scientific that place.
The lab, yeah.
And there's like all the lab shit.
It looks like it's filmed in a parking lot, by the way.
Yeah, I watched it on 4K. It was one of the first movies I watched on my 4K TV.
Oh god damn it, dude, that sucks. Yeah, it's fucking unreal. But the third one is gonna be now about finding the cure. Hey, put him in maze.
Put him in maze.
Sure, put him in maze. I want to see him do maze. Do you think they'll do maze? I don't think they'll do maze.
No maze. I think there's gonna be no maze.
There's gonna be no fucking maze. So I don't know. I think as far as like movies, I think Murder on the Orient Express, Isle of Dogs, and Jumanji are gonna be fucking good. The rest of the movies are gonna be horrible. That Tomb Raider might be worse than Maze Runner. Like that could be the worst movie of all time. I'm not sure.
I don't understand why you're saying that. The trailer looks like fucking fun as shit.
Looks like Tomb Raider, but like I've seen that before. Hey, you know what? Give me Angelina Jolie back. I don't even give a shit at this point. Give it back. Give me with the fucking brown shorts. That's what I want. I want her jumping off. I want her fucking jumping off waterfalls while shooting at her own father. That's what I want.
Fair enough. We did get some early critic reviews of Blade Runner 2049. Overwhelmingly positive.
Looking real good, dude. This reminds me of when the first reviews came out for Star Wars Force Awakens, and I was like, no way, it's that good. Turns out it was.
Couldn't possibly be that good. Guess it was. But Blade Runner, like that's, and like a lot of the times when we see like these high reviews, I'm like, no way it's that good. Like even like, I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm sure we'll talk about it after Spookytober, but even like Stronger with Jake Gyllenhaal, it's like 97%. It's like, not that good, pretty good, but not that good. What else? Fucking Wonder Woman is a good example of it too. It's like, it's good. 94 though? Yikes, you know? So I don't know how much I trust these ratings anymore. But like Blade Runner can't be bad. Like just looking at the trailer, it looks like Denis Villeneuve at least. Like it's gonna be good looking no matter what. It's gonna be a good looking movie. And if that's the only good thing I take out of that movie, it'll still be like a 4-star. We love Denis Villeneuve.
No, we do love. We love that. Here's the thing: is that Denis Villeneuve might be better at Ridley Scott's aesthetic than Ridley Scott.
Yeah, he's too old.
Yeah, Ridley Scott. Hey, here's the thing: stop making other things. You got fucking 9 more Alien movies to make.
You said you wanted to do 6 more. You 80. You don't got 6 more in you.
We also finally, they did the first day of filming for Avatar 2. Holy shit, did that take 9 years to get there? Did that take 9 fucking... I can't even believe this happened, if I'm being honest.
Well, did they start shooting? Or I think just the production schedule came out.
I think I heard
start this year.
I think that they started. I think it's all very under wraps, but I think they started filming it for sure.
Well, good. So at least keep Sam Worthington busy for a while.
Yeah, keep Sam Worthington busy for the next little while, so he doesn't show up. Because like I hate that's like my big pet peeve is when Sam Worthington just rolls up, and I'm like, did I ask for this shit? No, I didn't fucking ask for this shit. But yeah, those are the trailers. Buck, I am so glad we got this Nick Cage episode out of the way because, bitch, it's Spookytober, bitch. It's Spookytober, bitch. There's so much fucking spooky shit gonna be going on. We got a wild ride ahead of us. What are we talking about next week, Buck? Do you remember?
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Gerald's Game.
Shit!
The new Stephen King movie that's dropping on Netflix. We're gonna be talking about Creep Show.
Dude, George A. Romero. George A. Romero made a Stephen King film. Sign me up immediately.
Sort of. He did a 20-minute short in it. And we'll also be talking about the sequel to Rings.
Rings. I actually finally this past week I finally watched Ringu, the original Ringu, to completion. I was never able to get through it. It's so scary. But here's the thing that I never realized about Ringu, because the last time I tried to watch Ringu was a few years back, and I hadn't seen the original Gore Verbinski remake. That remake's pretty close, dude. Shit's pretty close. They're basically the same fucking movie. The only difference is that Japanese one has magic in it, dude. They throw some magic in there.
Yeah, so that Avatar thing you're talking about, they haven't started shooting it yet. They just released the production schedule that they're filming 4 in a row. That's what they announced. Not that they have started yet. That they are making 4 in a row.
James Cameron, you're gonna die soon. You gotta get going. Get fucking moving.
They're going to make 4 in a row for $1 billion. But here's the thing. Haven't started yet.
Whoa. Hold on. You can't just drop numbers like that. I'm sorry. What's that? That's like Donald Trump saying small loan of $1 billion. Well, I'm sorry, what? Say $1 billion?
Yeah, it's going to cost $1 billion to make all 4. And would you like to know when they're coming out? So Avatar 2 will be 2020. And then
fucking far. I don't care.
2021. And then for some reason, 2-year gap. Well, 2024 and 2025.
That's a 3-year gap.
3-year gap.
Okay, so wait, they got 2 back-to-back, 3-year gap, 2 back-to-back.
They're filming them all right now. They're filming all of them right now.
Simultaneously?
Yes, back-to-back. Like
I've heard that the new one's going to be about Jake Scully's kids.
Yeah, they cast a bunch of kids that have never seen the first one because that was fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah, and fucking here's the thing: if kids grow up not knowing what Avatar means, then we have done our jobs correctly. Oh fuck, James Cameron, dude! I can't fucking believe. Here's the thing: it's the highest grossing film of all time, and nobody cares. Like it's the only movie that's grossed more than $1 billion that has 0 fan base.
Everybody hates it, including me.
Including me. Yeah, it's fucking horrible. And
so that's the show. We're in Spookytober now, officially.
Oh, dude, I've been counting down, dude. I'm really excited. Gerald's Game, Creep Show, Rings. Tune in next week. You follow me on Twitter at ChadleyTheMovie.
Follow me at Last Cool Dude.
Thanks for watching.